Back at it again. Live at the barbershop. Let me introduce the crew. To the left of me, I have my man Q. Q, what up?
What up, my people?
To the left of him, back on the block, Norris.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Yeah, there.
Nisha J is in the building with us tonight. Nisha J, what up?
Hi.
Hey. Aaliyah is in the building. Aaliyah, what up?
What's going on?
What's going on? And last but not least, the Trump rally, I think is over now. So let's introduce Black Republican. Yo,
what up, man? What up?
Is that you? Is that you?
What up?
Is that you with all that Trump thing going on behind you right now?
What do you mean behind me?
A lot of feedback going on your side there, Playboy. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, tonight's topic, toxic masculinity. So I decided, I said, all right, you know, Black been on me for a minute about touching this subject. So I said, all right, you know what? Let's touch it tonight. So I'm gonna give you the run. Break it down to me what toxic masculinity is all over. Whoa. Playboy.
What's going on?
Playboy. There's a lot of what's going on in your background right now? Is that you? Yeah,
It may be his fan.
It's you. Yeah. Your fans behind you, your Facebook fans need you to turn it down for a minute. Okay? It's a lot of feedback on your back end, Playboy. You good?
I wonder.
Hey. Mike's on, you know?
I know that.
Yo. All right. While he deal with his technical difficulties, females, ladies in the building, what he explained to me so far is that toxic masculinity was females raising males and males being exposed more to the feminine half of life and it clouding some judgments for males. Am I right or wrong, Black?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, so break it down, please.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much what they're saying is that it's toxic, or it's teachings that children are learned as they're growing up. You know what I'm saying, by men, as far as being children saying that, or men teaching their sons that, that it's not right to cry as a man, or the term boys to be boys, or say if a man sitting down, he's sitting down with his legs spread too far, so they call that man spreading, you know what I mean? Or if a man tries to say something as far as to a female, you know what I mean, as far as advice wise, then they call that mansplaining, you know what I mean? So it's like, what they're doing is, to me, I believe they're attacking the masculinity of men to kind of make men more submissive to what's going on in today's agenda. And to me, I call it's the new age feminism. To me, it's like, because, back in the days when they had the whole female, as far as the Women's March and, the feminist movements and a lot of stuff like that, they were pushing for equality. You get what I'm saying? As far as having more standing with the ruling power as far as men, you know what I mean? And they were using that as far as to get into certain industries and other things like that. But now they're saying that a lot of this behavior of those men were because of toxic masculinity, raising those men to believe and to behave that way. But the problem is there are toxic behaviors in society, but the problem is they're attaching that to everything now. It's like once they got that foothold in the door, now anything that's deemed a certain way is toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? But yet it's not represented on both sides. So if it's really about equality, you would be looking at both sides. Like they say catcalling in certain states is illegal, but yet they say nothing. You know, catcalling like construction sites, you know what I mean? It's bad. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? That's illegal in certain states. You know what I mean? Because they say it's a form of harassment, but yet they don't say anything about women catcalling men. So now it's like it's a male issue. It's they say it's toxic masculinity.
Pause for a minute. Q want to know what is that? Like what females hollering at dudes?
No, what you call it? Catcalling?
Yes, that's
Catcalling, yeah.
For dudes too? For females calling dudes?
Meaning like
when you see a girl up and say, "Yo, cat, you look good."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Catty.
Broken down in the ultimate terms.
Like when she not answering
Carib life.
in your Jamaican terms.
Okay. So, ladies on the panel, your views on this. Do you, first of all, do you understand where he's coming from with this?
Yeah, but I don't understand where he gets mansplaining as a form of feminine. I don't understand that. Like if I say a guy is spreading his legs too wide and there's no room for me to put my legs, that's
Yeah, what is
that's
that?
a coin. That's a coin of a term.
No, but
and like if a guy explains something, like if you ask a guy, a question and it doesn't sound realistic, that's called mansplaining, right? To a female. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like I don't understand how does that equate to.
No, they're saying that they said it's toxic masculinity because they're saying that men are always trying to tell female what they should know or what they should do, or like how to do certain things. Like even opening doors in some states now, it's like, oh, now you're saying that, oh, the female can't do it for herself. So it's like you're taking away her right for opening her own door. And it's like, no. It's it's like a courtesy. It's a courtesy act. You know what I mean? You see somebody behind you and you're going through. You open a door and you say, oh, or you have somebody going into the car door. You open the car door for them.
Isn't that chivalry? It's not masculinity.
Okay, let's ask the chivalry queen at the bottom right now, Aaliyah. Is that a dead situation or is it?
That's chivalry. That's not masculinity.
No, but this.
I said. He said opening the door for a female is like
I heard what he said. I heard what he said, but no, I'm saying you asked a question.
No, I said, do you agree? Is that because Nora said that is not noted as chivalry.
No, it's that chivalry. It's
right, masculinity. It's just what a man should do for a female when they see opening the door. So masculinity.
My thing is where is all this going on at?
Go to LA and these certain like high level like liberal states. Now you can't even call an individual a certain, like if you see somebody full on beard, whatever the case is, and you say, hey, how you doing, sir? They don't literally call you, oh, I'm not a sir, I'm a ma'am, or you know what I mean, or whatever the case is. Or if you're sitting down, like I was mentioning earlier, you sitting down, normally a man sit down, his legs are spread. You get what I'm saying? They want you to keep your legs close and like closed type of deal, but it's hella uncomfortable for a man. You get what I'm saying? When you're sitting down in a seat, like if you're on a bus, if you're on a train, and you're sitting down, they want you to keep your legs closed.
So, okay, but who's making these rules to say that men are supposed to close their legs?
A lot of these feminists, a lot of these new age feminists that are attaching this stuff to toxic masculinity.
They can't tell you how to open or close your legs, or whether you open a door for somebody or not. I don't feel like that's something that they can control.
And secondly, you're making a female uncomfortable if she has to squeeze her legs even tighter because you want yours spread across the damn chair. Because that's happened to me before. I've had to ask gentlemen, can you close your legs a little bit, just a little bit?
What's
like,
These
You
dudes are
asked the
spread
man to close his legs.
Yes, because it was like wide open and he was like leaned over. And I was like, could you just close your legs a little bit? Like we're on the train together. I've had to ask a guy to close his legs just a little bit, not
Okay.
close it completely.
Oh,
So
just
damn.
But why did you ask him to close his legs? What was his balls or something showing?
No, because what happens is when you're sitting in a position and your legs are wide open, and I'm gonna show an example. The guys sit like this, right? It's hard for someone
Right.
who you're sitting next to get in between the space. So what I do is I'm sorry, dropping a phone. So what I did was I simply just asked the gentleman, could you move your legs in a little bit so I could be able to squeeze on his face on the side?
Yeah.
That was the issue that I had in my particular predicament. And that's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying. You know, like if it's what's the big deal about asking someone just to close their legs?
Yeah,
Well,
why would you-
I mean, I understand that situation, but I mean, I have people come in the barbershop all the time, and you talking about legs being open, they dick print showing. So, like,
I ain't talking about no.
I mean, me personally, I mean, if you want to show it, okay, I'll look real quick, like, but hey, you know, it is what it is. If that's what you want to do, more power to you.
So what's the
But
difference between that and a female showing her breast or her
It's
butt or
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
There's no difference. But the thing is though is
But
that
I don't think that should take away from a man being masculine or
Me too.
but I understand the point that you're trying to make. Like they're trying to, I think you're saying that they're trying to feminize men with their male traits, and I don't think those type of things should define what a man is. You either, if you're a man, you're a man. And the things that are more important, what is the noise?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that's
figure
what
out.
we're
Who's
trying to
that?
find out.
Who just paused? Who just Black? You just muted? Nisha, is that yours?
I just unmuted.
All right, let's go. Let's see if we hear the noise still. Sound like somebody shoveling snow back there.
Yeah, it did. It sounded like
Okay, go ahead. All right, go ahead, Leah. Finish your talk.
Yeah, I just don't feel as though that as I don't think that's a big issue of defining a man or not. I think the issue which comes down to defining a man should be more mental, spiritual, and more personal.
Yo, money. I don't know what party you got going on in your in your spot, but homie, yo,
He's doing multiples.
you got trolls under your spot or something. Somebody party.
He's by highway. He's by highway.
I think somebody
He's by
bugging
highway with cars passing by.
your
no, I
line
know
right
who
now.
it is. It's Dovey.
It's a feminine. It's a fem. It's a fem. They bugging his line right now. They heard he talking that madness right now. Okay, so let me get an understanding now, because I'm like super puzzled.
Yeah, me too.
Like I'm super puzzled right now. Like I don't even understand. First of all, even if I came on a train or a bus, I'm not spreading it wide open, that wide open where you're uncomfortable.
He didn't want anybody sitting next to him. He didn't want anyone sitting next to him.
That's just.
I'm gonna sit regular. I'm gonna sit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm gonna sit regular.
I'm not gonna have it that wide open where you're gonna have an issue next to me. And like you said,
y'all legs wide open right now.
Who?
Y'all.
Oh.
Yeah, but
no. I'm sitting right.
It's
but I do. Hold on.
It's a comfort.
But hold on.
It
keep
you in a comfort zone.
But I do experience
why
it on this show.
Why is it comfortable?
I do experience it from him.
It's like a relaxation.
No. I have to cuss him out a lot of time. Keep your damn foot to yourself.
No, it seems
because his foot be all over mine.
Them two be going at it all the time. Like this dude here, I don't know. I don't know why he always feel like he gotta stretch out when he gets here. You know what I mean? Like he comes to the studio, he gotta stretch
all
out.
over the place.
No, but it's just a relaxation.
No.
More
You more feminine.
relaxed and
You more feminine.
no.
Yeah. Keep your foot to yourself.
What are you relaxing?
He got his legs stretched out on the.
Because I have to. Because he just all over
His
my
leg
leg.
is like this. Come on.
Because I have to.
So now is that considered a femme thing? Black?
With
Cross your legs.
Oh, black.
Well,
The noise.
The noise factor, man.
you got on all that headset and ain't canceling out nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, figure it out. Yo, let's go back into it. Okay, so now I really don't understand the feminine half of it, but okay. You might have to cut off and come back, Black. Cut off and come back, and let me and the females get into something because yo, I don't think Trump fully gave him that stimulus check. He didn't get the full package.
Let's stay on the topic still.
Okay.
What bothers me is in the gay situation where
No, that's feminine.
you see a dude and they want you to call him Mr. Call him Miss. I'm sorry, Miss. Isn't that wrong or so forth?
Miss,
Yeah,
What?
call him-
I do.
If I don't know you, you're not telling me what to call you.
No, you said gay dude.
You don't
You said
understand.
gay dude.
Like a gay person, a dude who's gay,
No.
and they want you to call him.
Alphabet boys.
You can't tell me what to call you.
It's alphabet people.
Exactly.
Say what?
Exactly.
I don't know you. I'm just gonna say hey you.
That's what?
Yeah, that's
Since Dave
what
Chappelle.
Blacks is actually saying.
Pause.
I don't know who he's
Pause
talking.
for a minute. My bad. I don't mean to cut you.
Yeah.
My man asked me since when. I said it's called alphabet people. He said since when? I said since Dave Chappelle. Alphabet people. That's why you keep it level. You know what I'm saying? Like
PG.
PG. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
alphabet people.
All I said is gay. We didn't say.
Alphabet people.
We didn't say the F word.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
I'm just bringing you up to speed. Go ahead.
Okay.
Cause Lil got that look on her face. What's the deal?
Yeah.
All I said is gay.
Bring him in.
As you say, as Black was saying before, who are these people who are trying to tell you that
I would have act.
open the door for a female, you're taking away her rights
No, like
as a female,
and
you know?
but it have nothing to do with masculinity. I don't get that part.
Yeah.
That's chivalry. You're supposed to open the door for a female. Well,
All right, well, hold on.
a lady.
Let me bring Sassy in on this one here. Get her point of
Open the door
view.
for a lady. Now, some ladies don't deserve no damn door to be open because they're not ladies. But it had nothing to do with feminine. I mean, like,
All right, Sassy, did you hear what Black Republican was stating earlier?
No, I missed it. I apologize. You want to
Okay,
run it back?
I can't.
Okay, that's fine.
Can anyone else? Aaliyah, anyone else? All I know, some dude had his legs wide open. She saw some ball prints. and
So you just
I
saying
think what he was
basically
trying to
this-
say. I think what he was trying to say is that basically, you know, what we would consider like guys opening up doors and guys what we would consider like a guy's act, where their legs would be opened, or guys open up doors for women, or we shouldn't identify that as a masculine trait, I'm thinking, and that people are trying to fight against that. I think that's what Black was trying to say. And basically, like what guys normally do as masculine, they want to name that. If I'm not correct, please correct me on that, Black, and say that it's the feminists are trying to say, not label that as a masculine act. I think that's what he's trying to say, and that basically the things that men do, as far as open up the doors and open up their legs and just things that men do, it should just not be done anymore. And it just should be like a person. So like And for instance, what I got from it was he said, if you say, hey, guy, he was like, no, address me, I'm a man. Like, address me for the person that I am, not, you know, you
As
wouldn't
your
say,
gender.
yo, right.
So Black,
Like,
is she
I'm not
correct?
too much. I'm
I'm
not too much
thinking
with
that's
that push
where,
towards this neutral gender thing. I'm
yeah,
not.
basically that's what he's saying the feminists are trying to push for.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
don't like
correct,
it.
Black
That kind of happens
Republican?
at work.
Well, yeah, they're saying that with a lot of situations, like it's a part of the upbringing of kids. You know what I mean? Like kids are being taught that, like, you know, they said that, oh, how as far as with boys when they're raising up, how people will say that, oh, boys will be boys type of deal.
Mhm.
And they're saying that these behaviors and these trainings are toxic to a boy when they grow up because it leads to them, you know, raping someone or becoming criminals, or they have violent tendencies, you know. So it's like the raising of toxic masculinity raises to where they don't care about anybody else, you know what I mean? So that's how they lead it into them sitting down on a bus with their legs spread all the way out. But that's just rude people, because you got situations where there's women that sit down with their purse, big
Yeah.
ass purse on the next seat, and don't want to move their purse. So,
Yeah.
you know, what do you say
Can I
against
cut?
that?
Let me cut for a minute.
Yeah.
All right, I'm like super confused right now. So okay, you're saying that the toxic masculinity, because I'm focused on the word masculinity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the thing was getting me confused right now is that you're saying that it's a breakdown of you being a man, basically, is what you're trying to say?
Or male tendencies. Like, you know, if
So
you're roughhousing with other
right,
boys,
So,
they're trying to
all right,
say
so,
that you know that shouldn't be allowed because it only leads to a further
oh, so the
aggression as they get
feminine,
older. I'm just
so the
saying,
feminine.
I trying to make the men soft.
I
not
understand
necessarily.
what he means, because what it does, it desensitizes and it disarms the man from being a man.
Okay, well,
So
no,
that in turn, when the government or whoever wants to do whatever they want to do to the people, they don't have to fight with the men because they've disarmed them, and not just disarmed them mentally, but they've disarmed them physically as well too.
And the
Yeah.
characteristics of a male tendencies, basically.
Right.
Okay.
I
And
think
that goes into the food that we eat. Like soy causes men to have female hormones, and
Yeah.
lowers the testosterone in men, cause men to have breasts,
Man
and
boobs.
so on and so forth.
Man boobs.
Yes, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I heard that about so yeah.
You looking
as far as
suspect right now.
None of that.
He's like
I'm the
soy.
I'm the mother of two boys, and I like to teach. Yeah, this is what boys do. That's what girls do. Don't do that. So I'm a big
There's
supporter
nothing wrong
of
with
that.
that. I
I
don't think
don't
there's
see anything
anything.
wrong with it. I think as far as the violence that we see coming from the youth today, that started quite some time ago. I think we saw that transition as we were growing up
Yeah.
with the video games. That's really what
Yes.
desensitized these
And the
children.
cartoons.
Oh,
And the
And the
it goes further
cartoons,
back. It
all the
goes further
graphics.
back.
It's not really saying this is for men, boys, and this is for girls, and boys will be boys. Nah, because that has been for generations. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
it became a problem. So nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that part
I'm
of
sure
it.
it's
I
a Democrat.
honestly, you need that. You need that because right now, because of the households nowadays where men are absent
Yeah.
and females have to step in, you got a lot of
But we need to
things that-
check and see why. What is contributing to this? The men being missing. There's something
It's a-
that
I know.
contributes to
For
it.
me, I'm a single mother, and
Female miserable man.
I have an adult. I have an adult male son, and I have a younger adult son, which is 15. So my thing is this: I think by me being raised with boys, and me growing up in a male dominated household, I think I developed more male traits. So I do have a sensitive side, but with my boys, I do not show sensitivity because I don't play with them. So when it comes down to walking in women's shoes, I'm gonna knock you down. When it comes to pretending like you a woman, I'm gonna knock you out. Like I'm not gonna tolerate any of that. The animals don't do it. Why should we?
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
So
Good point.
Yeah.
that's my thing. If it to me, the way that they've turned it around, they want us to be the animals, and the animals are the same ones, and we're the ones that's behaving like animals.
Yeah.
So, you know, with our children, I think a lot of women and men have gotten relaxed about raising their kids and doing the things that they're supposed to do for their kids. And they're allowing certain things to go on because they feel like it's funny or they feel like it's a money grab or whatever it is. But I don't care what other people think or how they operate. Common sense tells us that nature goes in a circle, and if you break that circle, is destruction. So
True.
that's the bottom line. If you don't have a man and a woman here to mate, to have babies, how they gonna be gay with other people, or how they gonna be a part of the alphabet thing if nobody's having children?
Well, they'll say that they'll use science and still procreate in that manner.
Or
but
adopt.
It's still.
You know what they adopting when nobody ain't creating.
Gotta be a
Once you stop creating, you become extinct.
True.
Yeah.
That is
So-
true.
Because
So now,
Well, they got artificial wombs coming in now.
hold on. But when you say men, you mean black men or white men? Are you all men, or are you talking about black men?
Primarily
As far as
black
what?
No, it's going across the board, but it's definitely directed at black men. They've been doing that to us since slavery.
Yeah.
Okay.
They take the hardest men, they take the most prideful man, the hardest man, and they
And
break them down in front of everybody
in
and
front
push
of
up the female.
the other ones.
Because
Try
I
and
saw
remember
that.
that.
That's why you see a lot of these football players dressing up in these skirts and prancing around and doing all this type of stuff because they want people to see that they've paid this person a certain amount of money and they're willing to do anything
Yeah.
just to corrupt the children that we're bringing up today.
Yeah.
You know, there's some artists that spoke about that before, and that was the test in the music industry.
Even Dr. Umar Johnson.
In the music industry, they spoke about that. What they'll do, they'll send you on a photo shoot or something, and in between the stylist will say, "Well, try this on. Here's a kilt. It's not a skirt, it's a kilt." And you'll be like, "Well, okay, all right, not a problem." So now they know that you're willing.
Look at these who wear back in the old.
Right. That's right.
Wasn't that
But
the reason
again,
Dave Chappelle run?
It starts at a kilt now, and then it gradually go to something else. It's just a starting point. It's a test to just see how willing you are to submit.
Passive. How passive you are as a man.
When the checks are coming. You understand what I'm saying? Because if the checks are coming and they say, "Okay, I need you to you know what? Don't worry about that. Try this one on.
Wasn't
And
that
put this purse next to it." And you're like, "What?" And you're like,
And it's
nah. Trust me on that. Right? And if you said it's just for the photo shoot, that's it.
Damn.
And if you don't stand up, they got you. You know what I'm
But
saying?
the whole thing about it is just not for the photo shoot because people. One thing I'm not gonna use the word hate, but I despise when people say, "Oh, you know, I don't care about what anybody else is doing. I don't care about what's going with anybody else. I'm doing me and I'm going to do this. And what I do don't hurt nobody else, or what I do don't affect nobody else." Everything that you do in this life affects every single person around you. Not only around you, but whomever sees whatever it is that you're doing affects, and it maximizes to other people because other people see it over and over and over and over again. So when they say it's just a picture, it's not just a picture. They're putting that picture up so they can, these boys, when they're coming up, they're looking at this picture of this person and they're saying, okay, well, he got on a skirt, I can do it. Well, he carrying a purse, I can do it. I think it's cool. I think it looks cute.
Right.
Isn't that
But
the
when,
reason?
if my son ever come to me and say, oh, well, this person is, I'm going to knock him down.
These days they call it
Period.
fashion. Yeah, they call it fashion.
And
these
I don't
days.
have to have a male in my household to do that. I don't have to have a male in my household to do that. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
But you see how they're saying that. I mean, they even say that. Oh, that teaching your son to be driven and competitive, you know what I mean, is a toxic masculinity trait to teach your son. But that doesn't even make any sense because men are naturally competitive. Men are naturally protectors. Men are naturally driven that way. You know what I'm saying? Women
They're
are
taking you out of your natural habitat. They're trying to remove you from your natural habitat. So when they decide to put the pressure on you or knock you down, you're just gonna lay down. They don't have to knock you down. You're gonna lay down. And that's what these boys doing right now today in these prisons and everywhere. They're not fighting. They just laying down.
Yeah.
They letting the women pay all the bills. They letting them do everything that they want to do, and they sit back and they behaving as women.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is, it's important for women and not just men. It's important for women, us as women, to make sure that our boys know where their place is as growing up into being a man, because it's not all the blame on men not being in the households. It's some of these women allowing certain things that are not acceptable, and they're laughing and they're giggling about it and they thinking it's cute, and it's not cute. And then the next thing,
that's why I was just about to get to. It seemed like,
and then the next thing, to go back to what Black Republican was saying about them saying what toxic trait is. Has anybody said that the toxic trait maybe y'all trying to pressure people into being what y'all want them to be? That's bullying.
But that's exactly what you see going on now, because
you can't bully people into being acceptable to your alphabet lifestyle. You can't tell somebody that. I don't feel like if you are a part of that alphabet crew and you choose to be with the same sex, you also choose not to have children. To me, you don't need to affect nobody else. Let your choice be your choice. Let these children be with people that procreate and make more children.
True.
If you want to choose to be with the same sex, you're choosing not to be able to have children.
And here's something that they said, that, well, no one's adopting. We're choosing to adopt, and we're choosing. So if that's the case, why weren't you stepping up to the plate and doing your part in adopting? See, that was the main thing. See, and that's the thing with it, that, again, like you said, it is a form of bullying, because, again, they're forcing you into acceptance. You know what I'm saying?
They're forcing you into what they're thinking and forcing you to believe what they believe.
And I had a discussion with a young lady before.
That's not right.
She was gay, and I had a discussion with her, and I asked her. I said, me personally, I don't have an issue. My issue is when you're starting to force feed someone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's my issue.
Like, what you do is your business. At the end of the day, I can't control what you do, and you can't control what I do. But at the end of the day, don't force feed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't force feed me into anything. Like, if I want to turn on the TV, don't force feed me into anything. You know what I mean? Like, we should have our own decision making to say, okay, if I want to see that, I'm gonna turn to 5. I want to see this, I turn it. But nowadays, it's across the board.
It's on every channel. And they're not giving your children, they're not leaving that open for your children to decide. What they're doing is they're programming your children to do what they see. That's why I don't have TV. That's why I don't have TV in my house. I don't care if it's a hurricane coming. Somebody will tell me.
They're planting seeds in these kids.
It's the seeds being planted.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing. And that's why I said it's so odd now that they can say anything to you. You can't say anything to them. And I hate when they.
And then it's written in law too. Now they saying that
I hate when they
in
try to
California you could get fined $100 as a man for man spreading on a transit.
Why the hell are we talking about California? We live in South.
No, I'm just saying. But here's the thing: if it's allowed in certain states, then all it takes is for that narrative to shift to another, then shift to another, then shift to another. You get what I'm saying? And now everybody's practicing the same situation. So it's not like California is a whole other country. They're part of the same country as us. So if one state's gonna do it, they're gonna shift in it. All it takes is whoever's that's running the show that'll bring in the narrative. Because you see, the last administration that was running the show, now kids in elementary school is being taught that there's two Santa Claus, or there's two penguins in one egg. You get what I'm saying? So why is a child being taught certain things that adults can't even explain, but then they're telling us that we're raising kids with toxic masculinity traits? But that's
because it's mostly, to me personally, I think it's mostly geared towards the black men, because they're the ones that they're most afraid of.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get from me. Hold on. No, I ain't reading nothing. Blacks.
Yo,
hey, Blacks. I know we like our brother, but why you got to go with talking about the last administration?
But it was so. But who put it all in? But who put it in law though?
Was pushing that shit?
Was it good?
It's in law. Christian bakeries cannot say that they cannot make a cake for a gay couple or whatever the case is because of their religion. Churches cannot deny that anymore because of religion. But let you walk into a mosque and tell a mosque, "Hey, I want to have a gay wedding here," and see what they tell you. You get what I'm saying?
This administration, they push that shit too. The other side push that shit too.
Doesn't these things go?
Saying, the reason why I said it is because these initiatives took place in the previous. You get what I'm saying?
Why can't heterosexuals do the same thing?
But that's what I'm trying to say. They say it's hate. They call it hate when if a straight man come out and say, "Oh, this is what I prefer. This is what I am." Blah blah blah. Now they say, "Oh, you're being a homophobe." It's like a phobia is you being afraid of somebody. Nobody's out here afraid of gay people. You get what I'm saying? It's an irrelevant title.
We want RNC? The RNC?
Nah. Next.
No. I'm just saying that.
I just came from Trump Town. Nah, I'm good.
So when these legislation is passed, don't it goes through both
houses?
It's state.
That was put in with an executive order.
No.
Yes. Look it up. It was put in by an executive order. Schools now they don't call kids he, she, or whatever they're calling them, z, zer, they, or them. There's no titles on. Yes, in schools. Yes. If you're a teacher and you say
what school?
I know. All right, in New York, they have an all-gay school. I know that now. They have an all-gay school in New York.
That would be natural.
It's all
high school.
Yeah, it's a high school in Manhattan. I know that for fact.
Yeah, and universities too. You can't do none of that stuff at universities.
So the thing with it now,
all black school, all black college, all white college.
We got a Facebook guest now. It says basically society is taking away the chivalry. Being a gentleman, take it away in the power of real men being a
gentleman. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing with it.
Who's taking?
I think right now it's too much. Focus on some real problems and some real things. Like these things is like super corny. Like what do we?
Yeah. You
talking about a man spreading his leg too wide and
no, but
look at me. I can't keep my.
No, not you. Somebody's gonna really sit down here and pass a bill or something, or find somebody for retarded stuff like this. Let me not use retarded. What's the next?
We are just
but what Aaliyah said, you guys have to understand. What Aaliyah said, it's very serious. It's very serious because I don't know if y'all realize, but there is a takeover going on.
No, we understand.
No, but these things are slowly added up. You might see it small here, small there, small here, small there, but together it's a big
Y'all
play.
can't come out here making this point.
You know what I mean? It's a big play to shut down what everything is going on. Like if you got a father and a mother in a household, and both of them are holding down the household, they don't want that. They want a separated household so that way it's easier to divide them and take over their, whatever they're doing. They're going directly after the children. They're bypassing the parents and they're going straight after the kids.
And that's why so much pedophilia is going on.
Yeah, they're sexualizing the kids. They're demoralizing the reality of the world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? There's even articles where they're talking about how, we shouldn't be teaching our daughters to not walk alone at night or to not walk down dark alleyways and all of that. And they're talking about because of toxic men are the reason why women can't walk down streets alone. Like women ain't snatching other women either. You know what I mean? Like there's not women running sex trafficking and other things like that.
And women raping men.
Yeah, it goes down on both sides. So I don't understand. If you could bring up a topic, you got to face the whole entirety of the topic. You can't just focus on one little thing and then think that it's nothing else. And these situations might sound very goofballish, but in the seriousness of it, it's dumbing down the generation. And then they're feminizing the men. The men can't fight back. They can't fight for themselves. They can't stand up for themselves. They can't stand up for nothing. Then what they do is they give fake power to women that are in place to think that they're gaining some kind of situation. But every time you see a woman come out or something like that, and she's speaking these words, she's normally under a dude. So she don't even have the power herself. You get what I'm saying? But they gave her that fake prop, just like they did back in the 60s with the women's rights movement. They started giving them a little bit of things here and there and here and there. But then they told black women, okay, you want to be a part of the system? You got to get rid of the fro. You got to get rid of your cultural image. You got to get rid of this. And they're like, oh, well, you wanted to be a part of our system. This is what it takes. You get what I'm saying? You see the lady from Black Lives Matter. She's gay with a white wife. So it's like, it don't make no sense. You're running out here saying white people bad, but then you're in the system.
I mean, listen, it was a lot of movement back in the day. You know, a lot of them that was fighting the movement back in the days had white wives. Paul Mooney.
Yeah, and that was a running joke.
Yeah, you run the list. You know what I'm saying? So it has been part of the movement from day one. I just think right now at this point,
I never get that.
It's like Aaliyah said, you got to start from in your house. You got to start from in your house. You got to start from in your house.
It's one world, man.
And if you see certain things, you got to shut it down from early. Like, the cartoons is something. The cartoons is certain things.
Yeah, when they make them into with the big lips and all
that
kind of. But this why I never get. You pro-black. You fighting against racism and all that. You pro-black. But yet you got a white husband and you got a white wife. I can never understand that crap.
Yeah, it is kind of puzzling. I mean, when I saw Paul Mooney the first time, Paul Mooney goes in. When I seen it, it was like, what?
No, he was just doing it for the money.
No. But to have Paul Mooney wrote a lot of stuff.
And all of them. I mean, they pro-black, but yet you got a white wife, and this you got women who they pro-black, but yet you got a white husband. I never understand that crap.
If you see that scene,
probably never will.
If you see that scene with LL Cool J,
marry your own kind,
when he get real angry, it was a situation like that. He was talking about, and a friend of who has a white interracial relationship mentioned something about it, and he get really mad about it, But
you're not gonna understand that half of it. I think again, it needs to start in the house. For a lot of the unfortunate part of it, again, for us as males.
But what world is this happening in? This world?
What do you mean? It's happening in our world right now.
The United States world.
There was a
world.
There was a coalition. There was a coalition of parents fighting back against Florida school education for pushing these programs. You get what I'm saying? And they're literally telling the teachers that we do not want our children included into these programs and other things like that. But they're telling the kids, or they're telling the parents, that this is a statewide thing. You get what I'm saying? So they're gonna either have to send their kid to a charter school or send their child to a specific, private school or whatever the case is that doesn't go along with this. But as far as public schools is concerned, they have no say in the matter. You get what I'm saying? And then they've been fining parents that are trying to homeschool their children. You get what I'm saying? So how can they fight back against that? It's illegal to not put your kid in school. Now they're fining you for trying to homeschool your kid. Then they're teaching your children in public schools the ridiculous stuff that a child shouldn't know. A child shouldn't be trying to learn this. Adults cannot even explain it. It takes adults like 10 TED Talks to try and explain this shit. And they
just as dumb as the children.
Yeah. And then they expect a child to pick this up and run with it.
Thanks, Elliot.
Kids believe they're damn dragons jumping off a mountaintop. And they're in the playground.
What's going on with Nisha? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Nothing.
You
I'm just body.
Yes, I see that.
She's upset.
I'm not upset.
I'm very upset now for what has been talked. Because
hold on. Okay.
What is bothering me?
I saw a video the other day with Footer Hype and Scatter, and they were talking about
he's feminine.
No, they was talking about coffee. They were talking about coffee. You know how coffee? She's out there.
She's out now.
No. When I mean she's on the world stage.
Okay.
And he was saying, oh, look how she's dressed. She's not dressed like a girl. She's
feminine,
not
feminine.
Yeah, she's just like a man.
Right.
And he was like, she's out there carrying the Jamaican flag. I'm like, no, dressed as a female. I mean, like, what are you?
Butch.
Man.
Yeah. And he was like, it's you don't get that.
Coffee doing her thing, she does.
Listen,
does she, man?
No, but, I mean, is she gay though?
The monetary
they're trying to say
that you got a lot of tomboys that wear a lot of dudes' clothes.
Yeah,
but I mean, if she's gay, then that's a different story. Then you could say, okay, she's pushing the agenda type of thing. But
okay, all right. We got someone here.
Disney already have that.
Is going to have transgender cartoon soon.
Yeah, you already had that.
So yeah, they already had that. They had a one where it was a boy that was a superhero, and when it was a little boy when he turned into a superhero, he's rocking a purple black dress.
But we've been watching
costume
forever.
And remember, purple is the color for transgender. So you see how they code it. They code it slowly. Why is his superpower dress? He's in a dress.
Crazy, purple was always a royal color, as you know what I'm saying. Purple was always a royal color, kingly,
black.
So to have them use that now, it's
subliminal psychological. It's a psychological attack.
It's well thought out.
But blacks, we have been watching Ernie and Bert from a small age.
Yeah, Ernie and Bert. Yeah, Ernie and Bert. Wait, no, Barney came afterwards. I'm saying Ernie and Bert now shocked me because I used to watch Ernie. I didn't know they was living together. You know what I'm saying?
But the creators said they weren't though. The creator of the show said they weren't. The ones that took over the show are saying they are. But the creator came out on Twitter and said that they weren't.
I would watch it, like when all the little kids, you at one of your friends' house or something, you walk by, you like, yo, you back up, you come back to the TV, like, yo, that Bert in the bed with Ernie, it gradually kept going up and up and up and up. You're like, yo, hold up.
And Elmo become a pedophile.
I never seen that when I was growing up. I've never seen Bert and Ernie chilling as roommates in the same bed. You know what I'm saying? Like you would just see them hanging out or something like that. But then now it's like, turn the lights off. It's like, whoa, what's that? And then when you say that now, you got to wonder now, like, yo, what are they slowly doing?
But blacks, what I'm saying also is that they could push all type of agendas, but it starts from home. They could push every agenda. The thing is that you can't know what your kids do when your kids leave the house, but it has a lot to do at home.
I think a lot of parents
have to accept that agenda, even if it's at school. If you are telling your kids the right thing at home,
hold on. But listen, like I said, you have these gay people, like
alphabet.
Damn that. They adopted. Okay, how are they teaching the adopted kids? I mean, like you have 2 gay men or you have 2 gay females.
Mhm.
And they have say they adopted a son.
Right.
How you gonna raise him to be a man?
It's called love. That's what.
No, damn all that, man. How you gonna raise him to be a real man?
How
When
you
both
gonna
of
tell
y'all
them about? How you gonna tell them about being heterosexual?
exactly when
Right.
both of y'all are gay.
Right.
If all they see is 2 of the same sex together,
Exactly in bed, kissing each other.
and that's
I
what
hope-
they see. That's what they've been seeing all their life.
And to them, it's in their world, it's going to become the norm. Which is
and
bullshit.
that's the thing. It's very confusing to these kids. Go ahead. I gotta.
I don't know if anybody ever. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody ever saw this show called it's a Tyler Perry show. I can't think of the name of it, but in the show, the boy is the guy on the show was raised by two males that were alphabet. So he was wearing women's underwear with the chick that he was seeing, and she was like, he's got to be, part of the alphabet crew because he's wearing women's underwear, because nobody ever told him that it was a problem. So my thing is when you have people and their beliefs, naturally the children are going to follow the beliefs, and they're not going to see anything wrong with it because that's all they've seen and that's all they know. So it's going to be rooted into them.
Yeah.
These things begins at
All right.
home.
Let's check the comment that Janine just put on it.
So are we saying that toxic masculinity is not as bad as society is making it out to be? That it's actually good to have our boys and men be tough and don't cry and show that type of emotions.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with crying.
I don't
though.
associate with toxic masculinity with being able to tough and crying.
Exactly.
I don't
cry.
associate the two.
We cry.
You see, the thing is like there's certain situations like you gotta, a lot of men, they some of the times when that word goes through, when they say, oh, they tell their boys or their sons not to cry, it's over certain situations.
Yeah.
I've never told my sons not to cry.
Don't cry over
as
no
far
girl.
as as far as like like say a toy or some random nonsense, right? If it's not a situation that he should be crying over, then yeah. Because here's the thing: if you, a lot of times those things, by limiting a boy and his outlet or whatever the case is, some of those things were to toughen up the kids, because in wars the men are being yanked out first. In a fight, the men are the targeted. Women and children are saved, men are targets. So a lot of the times you have to build a reinforcement to be able to fight back against the world when it comes down to a boy, especially a black boy. He definitely have to be aware of all of that. So you got to teach them, like when, and what's the right moment or whatever the case is. Like if they're really hurt on a situation, you got to teach them how to speak on it. Come to somebody. Don't just hold it in. You know what I mean?
I've been in that situation before. And here's the funny thing.
I don't think that you can discern what is the right moment to feel like crying or when not to cry.
Well, you have kids, they cry over everything, because remember, a child's initial language is cry to get a response.
Right.
Out of
So,
someone.
But it depends on the child.
right, you can't.
It
You
depends on the
there's
child.
no way for you to determine when is a
Right or
person
wrong.
like. Don't cry over this, but this is a better time for you to cry. Like
No, but like say if they lost like a pet or something like that, you're not gonna tell them not to cry over a lost pet. But if they're in a store and you tell them they can't get no cereal and they start crying, that's definitely the time you tell them, hey, cut
when
that
they
out.
cry, that's when you tear their ass up. That discerns it.
Well,
that
just be happy
discerns it right
just be
there.
happy you in Florida. You can't even do that shit in the United
Hey,
States.
listen to Joe Clark over there. Listen to Joe
Yo,
Clark.
I don't know.
shit, like,
I
I'm a
don't know
liberal.
why. I don't know why you say that, because the whole thing about it is in Florida, you can spank your children. People just are afraid to. You can spank your children. It's just certain things that you cannot do. So you have to know how to do what you do.
Yeah,
Look at her.
down here.
She looked up the law first. She looked it up. When her son was like, "You can't
Call
spank
the
me."
police. Call the police before you tear their ass up. Call the police first.
Section 525 told me I could tear his shit up.
Exactly. And then you tear them up, and then you say, yeah, tell the police to come get you.
You see what I'm saying? Everything we're talking about.
It's called Sister. That's the name of the show. It's
So
called
even
Sister.
labeled the show Sister with that kind of agenda in it.
Sisters.
I'm telling you, it's psychological warfare they're playing with everybody, man.
Right,
And it's
here's
all
the
for
thing.
kids. These kids are going to be the next generation that moves on.
Let me get it. Let me
with
get
this
it.
agenda.
Hold on 1 minute. The funny thing about it that I've come across sometimes is that, and that goes with both parents being in the house. And I've seen it before. I've experienced it before, but I had to stand my ground on certain things because I've seen it before where it's like the female wants to tell the male when
to be
and
rough.
when not, like he said, when to cry, when not to cry, when to stand up for yourself and stand down and all this. And I had it with my own son, and it's like, oh, you need to teach him how to fight. Like, nah, I gotta teach him how to do nothing. I gotta teach him nothing. Here's how it works for a male.
Mm-hmm.
He will know when the time is right. Now, if he goes out there and he lets them bully him and he gets his ass kicked, he gonna figure it out. I'll school him. No. Because at the end of the day, he's gonna have to figure it out. You're not gonna be there with him all the time.
You better lose that fight.
You're not gonna be there all the time. So here's what you do: you school him and let him know. Don't let nobody punk you.
Exactly.
Do your thing. But at the end of the day, once you release him, he's on his own. So at the end of the day, he has to figure it out for himself. So if he allows them to punk him and eventually he's gonna figure it out.
No. Don't lose that fight.
You can't tell him whether he gonna lose. He gonna lose some fights.
Listen,
he gonna lose some fights.
You see also when they talk about
his ass.
When they talk about boys growing a certain way, sometimes a lot of mothers shut down fathers.
Yes.
For talking rough to the kid. It's not like he's arming the kid. He's just trying to strengthen the kid, and the mother will shut him down. It's okay. I'll take care of it. Shut the father out.
But then the father now has to stand his ground.
And the father has to stay in his ground.
He got to stand his ground because you see
you're
the father now.
To him too rough.
When the father now is like, oh man, I ain't losing.
Yeah.
And he walks off for stuff. Then it's a wrap.
Yeah.
He got to stand his ground and let her know, look, chill, stay in position, do your thing. I don't bother you when you deal with the girl child's.
A lot of that goes on.
You understand what I'm saying?
A lot of that
Let me deal with this half of it, and that's it. Now,
the thing is, the parent has to agree on what roles to take, because what happens is now you remove the authority from the father, and now the son doesn't believe his father has any authority to even talk to him.
But there's a lot of households. There's a lot of households.
And that's where he loses respect for the father.
But that's the thing. There's a lot of households right now where the mothers is the father.
So you turn around, you call
the mothers is the one doing
ass whooping.
No, but listen, there's a lot of households right now where the mothers is even bullying the fathers.
That's a boxer.
Yeah.
Mothers is bullying the fathers. So now how the kid gonna look at anything? When he look for a female, he's gonna find a female that's gonna bully him and feel like that's the one I need. That's the love I need right there, because that's what I saw. You understand what I'm saying? He's not gonna look for the female that's trying to work with him. He wants that female that's telling him, yo, you're nothing.
Do this and do that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Every harsh trait can be toxic. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, the reason why I wanted to talk about this show is because they're turning natural masculinity into toxic behaviors. You get what I'm saying? Fathers can't teach their sons how to. They even saying that that fathers shouldn't teach their sons how to teach their children how to hunt and stuff like that, going out for camping and all of this. And I'm just like, so what if S hits the fan and there's no food supply or anything like that? How you gonna survive? You know what I mean? Like, these are natural. Yeah, that's the thing. But you see, this is why I agreed with Aaliyah earlier, is because of the fact that these things are grooming a certain mindset and a certain culture for the future. You know what I'm saying? And with the behaviors of what's going on right now, the parents are being wiped out of the picture because the schools are prescribing certain things, programs for the child, without even coming to the parent first for a signature. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of parents don't even know that their children are taking on this type of content or lifestyle until the kid comes home and start talking to them about it. And they're like, where the hell you learn that from? Oh, in class.
It's an old school head right here. He know how to do it. He said, just don't leave no bruises, no marks. Get the pillowcases and get it in. But
No,
hold
you
up.
get the smooth shoes on the bottom.
Oh, listen to the charmer right here.
She hitting them with hospital shoes.
Oh, your son in the back, he was shivering just now. He's shaking.
Getting the hospital slides.
Hit him on the hand.
Look, he's like,
Hit him on the hands.
But no, here's the thing with it now. Again, a lot of times right now, I'm wondering the point you just made, Black, where as far as our counterparts are not seeing it the same way. Because our counterparts, they doing the damn thing. They don't care what you want to tell them. And how come we're not seeing our counterparts dressing up in skirts and different things like that?
With all pants.
Like the Caucasian half of, I don't see it in the movies. I don't see it in the videos. I don't see it in the. So what's
they
the?
doing it. They're doing it.
In the same. All right, you had Miss Doubt. Was it Miss Doubtfield or Doubtfire? But all right,
Listen, man.
can we level it out and say that we have equal amount of movies and different things, equal amount of videos, equal amount of.
No.
Can we say that?
No. You see more gay.
The reason why we don't is because a lot of Caucasian men, they're already feminine. You get what I'm saying? You know how many times I got like white friends and they immediately start doing some real gay ass shit, and I just be like, bruh, homie, I don't play like that. You do that, you even come to me with that, I'm dropping your ass. That's already installed. You remember when Dave Chappelle had the comedy thing where he was hanging out with them and he's like, don't get drunk around white people? It's a dead ass truth. You get what I'm saying?
No.
So they don't need to push the agenda that hard on them because they already have it installed as a humoristic type of behavior or whatever the case is. They find it funny. But to our people, we understand once our culture gets destroyed, we're done for. You get what I'm saying? Because we don't have a system within this system. They have a system to protect them no matter what. So if our culture and morals get removed, we're done for. So that's why we have to stand on our morals and our culture at all times.
Yeah, and that was also part of the deal that Dave Chappelle walked away from. He said it was in his trailer and they offered him a dress and changed the script that he had and given him a dress, and he walks away from it. That's part of it too. So why the Caucasian community keeps accepting it? Why they can't walk away from it like the rest?
Because they're the originators.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Huh?
They've been doing it. They're the originators.
In Europe, that's how they used to dress. The men wore high heels. That's where high heels came from. Men riding horses back in the days. But in African nations, the men didn't wear no damn high heel boots to ride horses.
It is a proven fact.
They had wigs on, makeup, everything.
It is a proven fact that Black people have a pineal gland, which is located in the back of our head, which is the pineal gland, and the pineal gland controls emotions. It controls your logical thinking. It controls like mostly everything that has to do with thought. And Caucasian people at the age of 18, they no longer have a pineal gland. It dies off. So when you find, and the reason why this makes sense is because you notice that with Caucasian men, it's like the things that they used to do and they've been known for so many years, it never made sense. It's like, why did this person snap like this? Or why was he killing all these people like this? Or why? Because there was no sympathy. There was no empathy. They didn't have any feeling. They didn't have any emotion. All of that stuff plays a part with the pineal gland. That's something that y'all can look up and see about the pineal gland and how at the age of 18, Caucasian people lose their pineal gland. And
In
that's
Black
a
communities,
lot.
aka your third eye.
That has a lot to do with us being melanated people versus them not having the melanin.
Interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Because even when you go back in Europe when the men used to wear heels, it's true because back in the olden day when they used to have like the plays, women wasn't allowed to play anything in the plays. So the men did everything.
Both
they played both parts. Because back then women wasn't allowed to do none of that. So the men dress up as the women, wear heels and all kind of crap.
All these things start from the
that's where it
home,
came
man.
from.
Yeah, all from Europe, Japan, all them areas. You got dudes dressed up as women and stuff. But in African communities, when you look at their celebration, the men and women took part. Even going back to the Pharaoh days, you know, the queen and the king, they both was on even playing field. There wasn't no, oh, women can't do this, men can't do that. They were both able to manage, you know what I'm saying, the kingdom together. It was until the Western or European nations and all of that invaded Africa, they started installing these plays that women are weaker than men or whatever the case is. But it was never that case in our culture. That's the reason why they go after our family and they separate us, because together, man and woman, we're more stronger than the majority because together we're unified at all times, because naturally we're supposed to be together. You get what I'm saying? So they've taken us out of our natural habitat, like Aaliyah said, and separated us.
A lot of mothers, I'm not going to say to be blamed, but a lot of mothers support a lot of kids when they're acting in a certain type of way. They support it.
Halle Berry recently
it.
had a situation like that where her
mothers.
son, I think she posted something with her son wearing, I don't know if it was high heels or
nail polish
or something. It was something. And
No,
she thought it was
Union too.
Yeah,
she thought it was fun. No. It wasn't Gabrielle. It was Halle Berry. But and some people went in on her, and she was saying that she don't see what the big deal is. She will allow her son to be free.
Alicia Keys.
She crazy.
Well, I'm just going off of what I saw with Halle Berry.
She did it too, Alicia Keys.
And she probably, because again,
how you know
that free spirit situation.
She told us.
It's not so much free spirit. It's that branding and that marketing and that money flow.
They're bought and paid for slaves, though. They don't have no say in the game.
And see, that's the thing. Because of their position, it goes back to the same thing where
to push that. They're a product.
It goes back to what I said. Here's the thing with it: is that bully beef theory. The bully beef.
What's it with the bully beef?
Bully beef baggy.
The bully beef theory. The bully beef is, yo, you want bully beef or you gonna stick to caviar? You understand what I mean? A lot of them, now that they taste caviar, they don't want to go back to bully beef. So that's the thing with it. A lot of them, when they say that I'm cool, I let my son be whatever, that's the sacrifice.
Yeah,
that's the sacrifice right there.
Give me the bully beef.
You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like you said, as a parent, you can do as much as you can, but the unfortunate part of it, there's so many seeds that are being planted around you. Do the best that you can. But
like Aaliyah said, limit that exposure to the television. Go, just cut the cable, cut it. If you cut it and have those children read more, you'll find a different child. You will grow a different child. You will raise a different child.
Cell phones. Because even when you cut the cable, the phones is
yeah, okay, but you could cut that too. Because who pays the bill?
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said
but when they go to school, they got friends got with phones.
Yeah, you got friends that will say stuff.
But what she's saying is limit. What she's saying is just limit what it is that they're watching.
I get it. I'm not saying when they go to school with their friends got phones. Okay,
well, stop giving excuses.
Damn.
When I used to do the Big Brother program, right? One of the things I used to do is I used to teach the kids about the agenda that's going down. One of the things we don't do anymore is we don't teach kids about the agenda. Back in the days, that was a known fact in a black household about the agenda of what's going on to black people.
It's changed in the black house.
Since we have integrated, it's like we want to hold this little umbrella over our head that we are now Caucasians and we're doing the same shit. We're taking the same risks. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that blanket.
The reality of it right now, everything has changed in the black household. Everything has changed
because they integrated.
Everything has changed. Like right now, like I said, the unfortunate part of it, dudes right now, some of the dude right now is that Victoria's Secret right now.
Not a box.
You understand? And there's some female right now at Joe Boxer.
Yeah.
Dude, you understand what I'm saying? It's a role reversal situation going on.
At Joe Boxer. What the hell?
It's a role reversal nowadays. Like, yo, it's a role reversal situation going on, and it's going high speed right now. It's going high speed. There's a lot of men.
Underpants, huh?
No,
hell no.
Never. You understand? But at the end of the day,
you're supposed to wear pennies.
That's the
Some dudes don't wear no boxes.
Oh, women. I thought you said no. You said you just. But that's what I'm saying.
True. Straight commando.
It's a role reversal situation. There's a lot of men nowadays, even the one that are married and in the household, their wives are running the game, and it's not even to say that it's a what you call it there a hierarchy situation. You know what I'm saying? But like everyone's. A football game, everybody know. Everybody got to play a position. Like the quarterback can't be the running back. The running back can't be the coach. You can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? So like one man got to do something in order for the whole team to work.
Well, that's also considered toxic masculinity right there.
But well, then too bad. Because at the end of the day, that's how the team got to run. In order for the team to move successfully, and in order for the black community to get back to where it used to be,
everybody got to play their part.
Everybody got to play their part. Everybody, and listen, for men, that goes for you too.
Black men got to step.
A lot of things black men got to understand too. Sometimes, and here's the thing with it: for females, hear me clearly. Your delivery sometimes sucks, straight up, and you got to understand something that sometimes. The men want to work with you, but it's the way in which how you approach the situation.
Them dudes gotta get up.
Before I go further, some men gotta understand also though that you gotta figure out when you got a real woman next to you that is trying to guide you in the right direction.
Yeah,
and it don't always have to be a power struggle.
Yeah, she could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the approach from both sides.
She could be guiding you, and it sounds like it's a bully too.
Because it's like, yo,
that's why you gotta have the communication.
Delivery.
Yeah.
It's just the delivery.
How you coming at?
And we just have to start working with each other in order to get to that golden or get to the finish line.
Yeah.
At the end of it. So now, what do we have at the end of this now? So how do we solve the situation?
What's the solution?
What is the solution? So is it just
we
that
we can't buy into the agenda? It's 100% agenda. That's why there's a lot of people that have been coming out and that's been pushing back against the whole narrative of toxic masculinity. But when you see who's pushing,
what do we come to right now?
Solution.
What are we saying?
You got to establish your own foundation for your own family in your own home.
Yeah.
What are you standing for in your own home?
Sassy, that's your situation. Okay, Nisha, what's you?
It's begin at home.
I agree with Sassy. The same thing. You start with whatever's in your home, and
you got to stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a war, bro. We fighting a long war.
Whatever beliefs you believe in, whether you're with it or you're not.
Aaliyah, where you stand?
You already know she's standing.
I already know. I'm the creator of my household. So whether you like it or not, that's what's staying.
It begins at home.
So we got your stance on that. Black, what's your stance?
Definitely creating the structure in the house. Just like how Janine said on the comments.
Right.
All start from the house. You have to build that first.
That's all I'm saying. It started from home. It doesn't matter how much agenda they makes out there. If you guide your kids and guide your family, you can't be with them every time, and all the time. But
Janine John,
Do something at home.
She just chimed back in. She said, "We need the family structure like James in Florida for good time." Hell yeah. Now who the hell is JJ? Who's JJ on there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right though. We need that back in our life right now because we are super lost right now. We need James in Florida back in our household. So listen, so we're all
Basically
universal on this that it got to start with the house and we got to stick to the program and stick to it. Hail Hitler.
Masculinity is needed in the household, just like femininity is needed in the household. A child has to have both. They can't just have one-sided.
Yeah.
One-sided narratives will never work for a child.
Never.
And that goes for both male and female in the house or just female?
Both male and female.
Both male and female.
You gotta teach
No, I'm just saying if it's a single family.
You gotta teach both.
No, I'm just saying if it's a single.
No, but the thing is, if a mother is single, she has to learn the traits that a man needs, a young man needs to be, to grow up in this world. Don't put him in this safety ass bubble of fucking, sugar and glitter. She has to teach him about the world. She got to let him take in the emotions, let him, learn what he needs to learn, but she got to communicate with him. A lot of mothers, just like how Willie Lynch said, if they remove the father or the black Negro from the family, what they do is they target the mothers. And because the mothers know that we're targeting the men, that what they'll do is they'll grow the boys up feminine or weaker so that way he doesn't seem like a threat. You get what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's going on now. There's no difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if it's a single mother household, you have to then go into the community, get the men that you trust
to be
from
involved.
the community to be involved with the male children.
I agree.
Community leader. Big brother.
Well, that's something that's missing. Something that's definite. And you know what's missing? Unfortunately, the church. Churches
are just as corrupt.
I'm just saying the church is missing in the community.
The church is
but
missing. That's why
the church is missing in the community.
We're
Okay, it's time for me to go on that note.
We're living in a corrupt world.
All right, listen. I want to thank y'all all for joining us tonight. Toxic masculinity, the solution to it.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Exactly.
It doesn't exist. It's an illusion.
Your household, man, and keep your household in check. That's all you got to do. Keep the black family strong and keep everything going. You know what I'm saying? The churches need to be more involved, though, but we're not going to touch that. We'll get into that on another one, okay?
All right. Leave the church. Leave the church and use the Bible.
Read the books.
No. The church ain't got the church is just
the church, the temporal,
and all them other people.
No, I'm just.
And the Bible said the church will be the church.
Learning everybody else's structure except for our own.
But it's all good. Listen, thank you
most
guys.
Kids don't even know where Africa is, but we teaching them about Roman history.
I want to thank y'all all for joining us tonight live at the barbershop. We are on multiple platforms. Once again, we are on StreamYard. We are on Anchor. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Join us every Friday, 9:00. We'll get it popping. Next week, we're going to have something interesting again. Once again, I want to thank the panel. Leah, what up? Nisha J, Sassy, thank you for joining us. Black Republican is always spicing it up, even though you're Republican. I still love you, baby. You know what I'm saying?
That
Norris
two-party system is whack.
Shut your ass up. Norris is back in the building. My man Q, Black IT, and I am John. Thank you very much for joining us live at the barbershop. Go out in the world and be somebody. Hot damn it.
You have something.
Oh yeah. And to our audience, if there's anything you want to discuss, is there a topic you want to discuss? Please do send it to Live at the Barbershop at Facebook or Instagram, and we will throw it in. So watch parties are definitely welcomed. Anyone that want to join, please do post it. We will put it in the shop. Join us next time live at the barbershop. Hot damn it. Go out the world and be somebody. Thank you very much.